Okay, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Beautiful morning, isn't it? I hope it is where you are, or whatever day you're doing this. I hope it's a lovely day. Wow, good morning. So we're going to practice today. Let me get my hair out of my face so as people pop into our class. I have a blanket and blocks, but as always, just have the props that you think you like to use, including a chair for some. So we're going to start with a little tapping today. I've done this before and I kind of do it on my own anyway. It's good for the vagus nerve. So I have a very sensitive vagus nerve, so I need to keep it tamped down. So they say fist, but I just use my fingers. But they're just saying that you should do the tapping with your knuckles, but my knuckles are cranky. So we're going to start this morning with some tapping. And if you're just joining us, you don't have to tap if you don't want to. I'm going to go from the top of the head down to my toes, just doing a little babaloo. So just waking up my body. Guess I could have done this when I put my makeup on, right? And the tapping doesn't have to be hard. It can be with knuckles. Getting to the back, always a challenge. Then down around your hips. Eventually you get to your legs, the front, the back. You can hear it tapping. I'm tapping all the way down, lower legs. Now I'm going to cross my legs so I could tap on one leg and get to my feet. Good morning, feet. I'm going to cross my other leg, tap my feet, and then come back up and then put my hands together. So my hands are a little vibrated, and I'm going to cultivate my attitude of gratitude as I come to be present with my mind and body rather than scatterbrained. That can sometimes happen. So setting intentions isn't just for yoga. It can be just making your to-do list, just kind of formulating the day or the week ahead that you would like to visualize it. Some people do write that down. Some people just kind of think in their head. I intuitively have always done this, so maybe that's you. But in yoga, we set intentions before we practice as to maybe focus on something. So being careful with something if there's an issue, or releasing something that's just been hanging on that now it's time to let it go. Or even just doing your practice in the spirit of love or forgiveness or something. So there's that. Let's come to Samastiti on the mat. I'm going to be sitting on my blanket. My voice will sound a wee bit different as I cross over to sit down here. So here's my little sunshine, my little peak of sunshine. I'm finding my light, as they say in theater. So I am in Sukhasana, and I'm happy to be in Sukhasana, but this may not be a happy position for you. So if you need your legs out in front, or one in front, or sit on your knees, or sit on a block, or sit in a chair. Let's review a little bit about our bandhas. The Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor energy, acts as a hammock, but it's also an energy that grounds us. So if you're ever feeling rather detached, then you want to ground yourself down. The action of Uddiyana is a drawing in of the belly. And then while you stack your spine and sit yourself nice and tall, I left my glass of water. I'll be right back, but go ahead and lift yourself nice and tall, coming into your breath. Yeah, one of the nice things about doing our practice at home you have things that you might need. So as you're sitting, or even if you did this standing, you're setting up, at least from the pelvis up, Tadasana, the mountain pose, which engages the abdominal wall, and by lifting your heart, the back extensors. If your back feels a little cranky this morning, you can hold on to your legs, or you can float your hands up, maybe in a mudra gesture. So we're going to take a few moments to breathe. Nasal passages available, maybe, maybe not. As we settle in, we're going to start adding some movement with our breath. So if your hands are holding on, feel free to just do one arm up and one arm down. If your back is feeling like it can support you, on your breath in, both arms up with the fingers dragging behind and then the fingers coming up. So let's do a few rounds of breath, kind of making the rain fall. Inhale and exhale. Might feel a little Tai Chi-ish. I know nothing about Tai Chi. Kind of take in how your body, when the arms go up, does lift up nice and tall, kind of makes you feel elongated, and that when the arms drop down, it puts you in that rounded position where maybe we spend a bit too much time in the day. Talking to myself here. Next time the arms go up, hold them up wherever that is for you. So if there's some restrictions, you can bend the elbows, fully extend, and let your right arm drop down to the mat so you can support yourself. I'm going to be on my fingers, but you can be on your palm. And let the left arm, it doesn't have to go directly up. It can go kind of out. Just check that you're not leaning forward or collapsing back, that you're using the arms to help support you. And then take your focus to the high hand, as we often do in our practice, and see if that arm can move towards your face. And it may not, and you should feel this all the way down your side. And then as you push on the right hand on the mat and bring yourself back up, let the left hand come down, fingers or palm, and then raise your right arm. Feel that pulling away as you support yourself. Look to the high hand. And then as it's available, stretch the arm towards your face. And you may find, as I do, that one side is a little more willing than the other side. Push on the low hand as that helps you release in the back, and then take both hands behind you. So let's focus a little on the shoulders. Breathing in, the shoulders will retract. And on the exhale, the shoulders will what's called protract. Inhaling, shoulders go back. Your head can be forward or up. And exhale, shoulders forward. Again, paying attention to anything that needs a little care. And then walking the hands up. Now, if you're sitting cross-legged, move one leg forward of the other. If you've got one leg out in front, it can just stay there. If you're sitting on your knees, you can still do this. We're going to kind of do a child's pose. So I have the hands behind to lift me and kind of hinge me forward. Where you're sitting on a blanket, towel, or pillow, it will be a little bit easier to get that hinge forward. And then just let your hands go forward. Hands supporting your back. Now, if you're sitting like I am with one leg in front, this is also going to say good morning to your hips. Bow your head, Feel free to go further or not. Here's what it would look like if you had one leg out. This one you might feel more in your hamstrings. And if you were sitting on your knees, letting your arms go forward, it's going to be more of a child's pose. Mindfully bearing weight into your hands as you right yourself. So let's do the other side. Those of us have a leg cross. I've switched them and then I've moved that leg in front out a wee bit. If I can't sit with this leg bent in, I might want to do both legs. Lean forward, have some softness in your knees to make this feasible for you. And again, if you're in the sitting on your, oh wait, I'm doing this, sitting on your blocks, you can do like that child's pose, hinging forward, walking outward. Mindfully bringing yourself up. We're doing a little bit for the hips so we can do the eagle pose today. Lean back on the hands, put your feet up as we tick-tock or drop our knees from side to side. You can stay on the blanket, or if you don't like how it feels, you can move it. Sometimes this can play into your back, so a little bit of prudence. So we're going to do another forward fold. Now we're all sitting like this. Let's let the right leg fall out and the left leg go out. Right knee fall out, hands bring me up. Here's my blanket. And now I begin to feel that gentle tug at my inner thigh. This may be enough, or this may be available, or further may be available. So if you just propped onto your hands and let your head drop. Mindfully use your hands to bring yourself back up, folding in the left leg, then extending the right leg. Bringing yourself into that nice lifted spine. And you may notice that the inner thigh of the other leg is tugging, or maybe it's not, because, you know, they're different sides. So this may be enough. Stay right here. My foot is flexed. Or transfer your hands forward. Come back to your breath. Proceed deeper as you feel you can, and then bow your head. Nice full breaths as you return yourself back up. You can sit again any way that you like. I'm going to go back to Sukhasana, but you can have your legs elsewhere. Get your spine nice and tall as we make just a gentle twist. So right hand going behind you, or if you had like a thing like me in my fireplace, you could hold on to that, so wherever. And then your left hand over somewhere on your right leg, and then pull the shoulder behind you back. You don't have to twist too far, just look off to the side or a little further. So I brought my orchid, which did 3 blossoms for me to share today. Return back center. Now I'm going to change the cross legs. It doesn't really mean a whole lot. I'm just switching it up. Be nice and tall, hand behind, arm opposite leg, top back shoulder pulls back. Feel free just to stay to the side or go a little further back. Just notice it, how it feels in your shoulders and your neck and your back. And release back center. So time for some bendy toes. So for those who have some issues with knees and you're sitting on a blanket or a towel or a pillow, you can just bring your knees onto that. It's going to mitigate a little bit of how the toes bend. As we come back to maybe sit here, if you say this is just not what I can do, then you go ahead and bring yourself to a standing position and you just do 1 foot at a time so we can get our bendy toes. If it becomes too much, you release out of it. If you're able to sit up, fine. If you want to even put your hands back here, yeah, sure you could. Sometimes the knees don't like this, sometimes the toes don't like this. Just give them a taste of it, and if they really don't like it, you can come back out to honor yourself. So we are going to come on to the hands and knees, and this seems a bit high for me, so if you do have some padding under your knees, make sure it isn't as tall as my blanket is. So I'm good with just being on my carpet. You can always double up your mat. Palms, if you can, and we're going to actually do some things with the wrist. So as I come to my knees under my hip bones, so my feet are not together, nor are my knees. And I have my hands in front of my shoulders, so I'm here. So maybe my palms don't like this. So can go to knuckles with your thumbs forward as your alternative. So then I slowly begin to move myself forward and back. So a little bit of weight into the hands. Bandhas and breath. Maybe you go a little further over the hands, noticing how the core has to stop you from falling onto your face. Now there may be a sensation if you're on the palms of the elbows bending. I want you to keep the elbows kind of drawn inward, shoulders down. As you move into, if you bent the elbows, chaturanga, which would be a bend of the elbow. You can do that or just keep going forward and back and focus on your wrists. And then pause. Stay behind your hands and you're just going to turn the palm up with the fingers pointing away from you and then switch and do the other hand. I'm not right over my hands, I'm behind them, so there's less pressure. You may be able to take a full load, which is over your hands, and then, ooh. And then instead of letting your palms up and fingers forward, turn your palms inward. So one hand points to the other hand, and then one hand points to the other hand. It's not full weight. And you breathe. Open your knees, move into either puppy dog, which your hips are up and your head is down, or back up into full child's pose. Currently, the arms are in front of you. Draw one of your arms, it won't matter, we're going to do both sides. Draw one of your palms up back under your face. So your hand is looking at your face and your face is looking at your hand. Slide it under the opposite arm. Lift up onto the fingertips of the arm over your head and look under your arm toward the ceiling. Palm comes down on the hand over your head. Drag the bottom arm in. Both arms go out. Now it's time to draw the other hand in. Flip the palm up. Slide it under the shoulder of the opposite arm. Lift up onto the fingertips of that outstretched arm. Palm comes down, slide your hand out, come up. And so we're going to do some standing hip flexor. Before I get there, if you can be on your knees, if not, go ahead and rise. How's your blood pressure? I'll just lift up my chest. Now I've put a minor curve in my back. If you can do more, so this would be like going into a camel pose. It's self-correcting. When we do it from the knees as opposed to standing, it's harder to thrust your hips forward. They just don't go. It keeps you better alignment so that your arch does become more of the upper back. But that's not always great if you know you have some spinal stenosis or something. So just lifting the chest. But if you are able to be on your knees, just notice you can't move your hips forward too far to do this. All right, no hands, time to stand up. So just to prove my point, as you're standing here, put your hands on your hips and do that same thing, but see how much easier it is to put your hips forward? So now you know the difference. Okay, so we're going to work into the front of our hips. It doesn't matter your orientation to me or to your mat. You can be this way or you can be this way. I try and position myself so you can see. So my feet will be hip distance apart. This is kind of a big pyramid pose. Doesn't matter which foot, but you keep track. So one foot will step forward and the other foot will step back. Now this is kind of wobbly, I agree. Yeah, so I'm kind of wobbly, so get your bearings. Ground yourself down. So I'm just going to bend and straighten the front leg a few times. If you need your arms to the side for balance, that's okay, or maybe even on your hips. Check that you're not collapsing, that you're staying nice and upright. Now I'm going to stay forward. Make sure that back foot has not turned out like we would in a warrior, that it's parallel. Sink the heel down into your mat and then feel the energy come up your leg and up your spine and lean outward, reaching one or perhaps two arms up. So energy going up through your hands, energy going down through your heel. Hands come behind, grab them or lace them, straighten the elbows. Now lift and lower the back heel. I know it's a bit wobbly. Either arms to your side with the heel up or hands open either way. Bend both knees. So feel rather grounded. Tuck the tailbone under, like you didn't want anybody to see your backside, pushing your hip forward. Now lift your sternum so you create a bit of curve. And whichever leg is behind you, let that arm circle a few times. And then you're going to stand on whichever leg is behind you and lift the toes of the front foot. Square your hips, square your chest to that leg. Slide your hands down the thigh as the hip goes back and the chest stays lifted. If you didn't have issues with your back, I might even suggest you hold the hands behind and look to the toes of the extended foot. So you can brace, one hand on each leg. Lower the front foot, bend the knees, slowly roll through your spine. And then we'll do the other side. I'm going to switch, I'm just going to turn around, but you don't have to. So again, feet are hip distance. Then I move my feet into what we might know as a pyramid pose. So one foot forward, one foot back. It's wobbly up here, I agree. So get your bearings. You can use your hands where they give you the most support. Bending and straightening the front knee. So much will be lost in translation if that back foot turns out. It'll just be a front knee thing rather than a calf and ankle. Ankle mobility is so important for fall prevention. All right, now I'm going to stay forward, sink the back heel down, visualize the energy going up the back, and rather than here and arms up, I lean forward, relieves the tension from my back. If you feel 2 arms overhead is a bit much, reach up with one hand, give a little support on your thigh with the other. Keep pushing that back heel down into the mat. And then bringing your arms either out to the side as you come up or onto your side, raising the back heel and putting it back down, keeping the front knee bent. And then that back heel is going to stay up. Continue to tip the pelvis forward. Lift up your chest. You can hold on with your hands at your hips. Now release whatever arm is of the leg behind you and let that arm make a big rotation. Standing on the leg that's behind you, lifting the toes up in front of you, chest up, hands on your thighs or behind you. If you feel that you're rounding here, you can correct that for yourself by just putting your hands behind you. If that feels like it's not enough support, keep the chest lifted and just move the hands. Lower the toes on the front foot, bend the knee as you rise, mindful to your blood pressure. Step to the short end of your mat. Let's go through a little flow. Use your options, child's pose instead of downward dog, walking instead of jumping or swinging your leg up, baby cobra, no cobra, pushing up through the knees or the toes. All these variations you well know. So, Tadasana. This is so great. I try and remember this when I live in my body. Breath in, the arms will lift. Palms come together as I sit back toward a chair, and then hands down onto the mat and look through my legs. Let's do that again. Imagine a pillow between the legs. Release, arms go all the way up as you do the extended mountain pose. Bending the knees, hips go back, hands at your heart, and then right on down to the floor. Couple more times, taking all the time you need for any adjustments you need to make. And the next time I'm going to stay with my hands on the mat, so I'll meet you there. Dropping the hips a little bit and lifting my chest. Let's do the right leg just so the reference is the same to you. And then wiggle that foot back. If you did last week's practice, we talked about getting more separation between the legs. So this is that. If you have knee concerns, just stay with the knee up, and if not, set the knee down. You can even relax the back foot. You're keeping your weight forward with your chest on your thigh. For those who wish to have a little bit more, you can consider coming up with your hands on your thigh, but not letting your hips pull back. So I've positioned my hips down with the weight of gravity, bandhas, bandhas, bandhas. And then if it felt appropriate, I would support myself and lift my chest up. If I were on the toe, I would just lift my chest holding on to the ground. Let's all come up back to the ball of the foot. Slowly lift your hips, draw down into your palms or onto your knuckles as you wish. Now try not to let that front foot slide on the mat. Do the best you can to pick that leg up and then step it back and then place yourself into a plank. It's a challenge. From your knees, from your toes, bring yourself down and then relax the toes. Drawing forward the elbows and just kind of sway from side to side. Feeling your low back gently accommodate. And then as you pause, look back over one shoulder, a little more opening on the opposite side. Repeat, look the other way. Come back center and reposition the hands under the shoulders. Baby cobra, cobra, upward dog. It all starts without any pushing. So I'll just say go up and then you do one of those. So go up and then come down. Turn the toes under. You can keep the knees down as you slightly lift the hips or come onto your toes. Press into your palms, rise to your plank, and let's do a down dog. So I'm going to move my feet forward, not too far. I'll bend my knees for this first down dog. And I want to straighten the arms, and you know what often happens is the big finger and the thumb creates a little air pocket. So if you can think of pushing that down, if you're on your palms, if you're on your knuckles, not going to be a thing for you to do. Bend one knee, it won't matter which one, and straighten the other leg. And switch. Let both heels come up. Bend the knees, look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet to where the hands are. Squeeze the legs, pay attention to blood pressure as you rise all the way up. Join the palms together and hands at the heart. So we're going to do the other side. I'm just going to move to the other end of my mat. You don't need to change. As the arms lift, this time open the arms like a swan dive, and we forward fold with the hands on the mat. Drop the hips, lift the chest, and gaze forward. And this time let your left leg slide back, and then go deep, go long, go deep, go long. As you bend the front knee, not letting it go over your front foot, the back leg can stay up as the chest lifts and the hips drop. If it doesn't bother your knee, let it drop. If that doesn't bother you, then consider maybe coming here or not. So you get to pick where you want to be. So it's all come back on the ball of the foot, and with your palms or knuckles, we're going to do that. Lift the hips and do the best you can to pick that foot up. Don't let it go wiping across the mat, she said to herself as she stepped back and came into her good plank position. From knees, from toes, elbows in, down you go. Relax the feet, baby cobra, cobra, up dog. And lower back down. Toes under, hips up from knees or toes. Do the best to come into your downward dog by adjusting your feet. So I'm going to let my feet tick-tock, my heels swing from one side to the other. I'm pivoting on the balls of my feet. Should feel that down the sides of your arms, down your lats. Raise both heels up. Bend the knees, sit back, look forward. Walk, step, or jump to where your hands are. Squeeze the legs, open the arms, carefully rise. All the way up, join the palms together. And then the hands draw down into the heart. Let's include some warriors. So back to our right leg side. So the arms drop, come from behind, bend the knees, a body weave as I dive into forward fold. Drop the hips, lift the chest. So as I said, the right foot goes back, way, way, way back. Drop the heel, pointing it on that diagonal. Feel free to use that front thigh for back support as you rise, placing your chest and hips forward. Look at that front knee. Can it go more over your ankle? Is that back leg straight and are the hips forward? Opening the arms to the side. So we're going to spin toward the easier side, turning us into warrior two. Watch the front knee doesn't come along. So as I turn, now make your head look back toward the front of your mat. Look over that left foot. Reach out as if to touch something and either put your hand or your forearm down. Now I have not collapsed on my under cage, so I'm here. So earlier in our practice, I said we're going to look at that arm and bring it up on the diagonal, ground into your feet, and then as available, move it into that diagonal line. I'm sensing a theme here on diagonals. Coming up into warrior two, front knee bent. Windmill the arms, lift the back heel down to your low lunge. Lift the hips, pick up the foot, don't let it slide. Down to your plank, chin up, elbows in, down you go. Inhale up or not. Turning the toes under, raising the hips from knees or toes, and press into downward dog, adjusting those feet. Remember, child's pose is a fair option. Raise both heels up, bend the knees, sit back, look forward, you walk, you step, or you jump to where the hands are. This time we're going to fold and bind, so you're already laying your body on your thighs, methinks. Put the hands on your calves or around your calves, and then keep that connection of body onto your thigh as you drop your head, and your legs may not straighten. I don't think mine do. Bend the knees, release the arms. Rise all the way up mindfully. And hands into the heart. The other side, left side. So the arms go behind, the hips go forward, a body weave as you dive forward into Uttanasana, a little easier. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Left foot now goes back and then goes back some more. Drop the left heel. Roll into that pinky toe side of that back leg. When ready, stand yourself up. Check your hands on your hips that that back hip hasn't opened like in warrior two, that the chest and hips are forward and the arms are straight to the side. Now I bet you this knee could go a little bit further forward. Breathe. Keep that right knee above the right ankle as you lift the spine and rotate. Now if you looked over your shoulder, now look back to the front of your mat. Kind of reach out using the hand or the forearm, keeping the undercarriage of your body lengthened. Reach the back arm diagonally and look at that high hand. So there could be some balance challenge here. Continue that arm coming and breathe. Moving back to warrior two. Windmill the arms, lift the back heel. Step into your plank. Down you go. Up you go. Down you go. Child's pose or getting into your downward dog. Don't forget to adjust your feet. Raise both your heels, bend your knees, sit back, walk, step, or jump to where your hands are. Hands around or on the calves as you lay your body down on your thighs and smoosh together. Bend the knees, release the arms, attentive to how you feel and blood pressure, and hands at your heart. So back to the first side. Let me show you. After we are down in our lunge, we'll come up into warrior two, and then we're going to step up and cross the leg from behind, so it most likely will be your right. And the left arm will cross over the right arm. So I'm here. As I step the back foot up, I cross over and come to my eagle pose. Now, I chose to put that foot down, so I was here as I brought my heel up, crossed the left arm over the right arm, and then crossed here. You can touch this foot down on the floor. You can touch it on the floor, or if you're able to wrap. Drawing the shoulders down, look for evenness, and then we'll be in the eagle pose. When we come out of the eagle pose, we'll go nice and tall, touch the floor or lift it, and then back to Tadasana. Fun. So the challenge will be getting from this wide warrior two, stepping up, so you pick up that back heel, and then this arm doesn't go on top. This arm comes under, and you go right into the eagle pose. See if you don't have to touch your toe. Shall we do this? Yes, we shall. Tadasana. And we begin with the arms lifting, hands to heart, sitting back, hands to floor, lifting chest, dropping hips, breathe in. Big step back with the right foot, drop the heel, windmill the arms up into warrior two. All right, step that back foot up, drop the back arm as the front arm crosses and you sit. Flying the eagle, touch the floor or don't, and close the posture. Other side. Arms lift, join palm, into chair, into hands at floor. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Big step back with your left foot, drop the heel, up to warrior two. Now that back arm comes under. As you step up, go to your eagle. Fly the eagle. Tadasana. Shall we do that one more time? I think we should. Arms lift, breathe in. Hands through your heart, sitting back until the hands reach the earth. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Big step back with the right foot. Drop the heel. Windmill the arms up. Beautiful warrior two. So the back arm drops as you pivot. Step up, cross and sit. You can have that foot touching. If it wraps, wrap it. Fly your eagle as you stand up. Open up, open up. And Tadasana. Catch up and calm yourself. Breath in, arms up. Hands at heart, sit back. Hands to floor, drop head. Then as you drop the hips, lift the chest. Left foot takes big step back, drop the heel. Windmill the arms into warrior two. So flip the back heel, drop the arm, and cross over. Touch the floor, it's fine, or wrap the foot if you can on most days. Fly your eagle. Close your posture. Find a block or two. So we're coming to garland pose. How are you? So there's two. Here's me stepping wide in front. Here's me sitting in garland pose, and I just popped and cracked. So this may be available to you. You may be able to do it with one block, and you may be able not to need a block at all. Take a few moments. And I am pushing the knees apart, dropping my tailbone, lifting my chest up. If I had no block, my heels would still be down. So that's what you want to strive for. Now, if you want to take this a little further and do a little arm balance, palms or knuckles, hips go up, arms and knees stay as they are. As you shift forward, pick up a foot or pick up 2 feet. And you can just play with it. That's all I can do anymore, is just to play with it. And sometimes just playing with it is good enough. If it comes for you easy, if you get your hips way up and it's pretty easy for you, just count that in your skill set. Once you have completed whatever it is that you want to do, you can plop yourself back or stand yourself up and sit yourself back down so that we're on the mat. Ooh. So it's a warm day, but it started nice and cool. All right, so let's just do a little releasing of that back. If you want to sit on your blanket, pillow, or towel and bring both legs out in front. If you're gonna stay on the mat like me, you're gonna reach in and move your buns away. So, Lord of the fish. As I bend in, let's do the right leg as I mirror you. Can leave the foot here, can put the foot there, either way. Opposite arm holds that leg or shin. So the other arm, what would be your right arm most likely, goes behind you to help the spine stay long and supported. Sometimes that allows the knee to fall down. So you either use the hand, the elbow, some people put the upper arm. So let's draw with that shoulder back and maybe just look to the side. The foot on the floor is actively pushing away. So you pull the belly in, you take a few nice breaths here. Now, if you wanted to change the hand, you can cup the elbow around the knee. Maybe that allows you to look a little further to the back. And then there might be those who can place the upper arm against the outer thigh, and then maybe you look a little further behind, opening up from some shoulders. So wherever, there is no right way. There's just the way that works for you. Slowly unspiral. Now you have some options. So this is mariachi asana. So I have my foot high up in my thigh like a lotus. This may not be appropriate for your knee. So you could have it at your thigh. It will press onto your muscle. So if you don't like the leg cross, you can always put it inside the leg. We're going to go into a forward fold. So if you had something to sit on, it could be useful to get you there. Now let's just say your foot got up here on your upper thigh. So this is my right leg. This is my right arm going behind my back, trying to reach for my toe of the same. So right knee, right. I'm holding it with my other arm. This is another option. You don't have to do this. Arm goes up, and then you lean forward, taking your two fingers to grab the big toe. That's that. Don't have to do that. Could do this with hands behind. Could have your leg further down. Could have your foot on the floor. Engage through your core as you gently come out of that pose, and then uncross the leg and put both of your feet in front. All right, let's pull in the left leg. Could be here, 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 could be here. Did I do this on the other side? Doesn't matter. Bottom leg is extended out, and careful it didn't wander in, that is coming out from your hip. So left leg, right arm, huh? And then left hand is that I will help you sit nice and tall. Oftentimes when that happens, this knee gets a little, so hold it with your hand, your elbow, upper arm. I usually like to explore, so I get nice and tall, look off to the side. Every breath in should lift you. And then when you breathe out, you twist a little further. Slowly and spiral back center, and the same options here. You can pull that leg up, take the same hand, goes around, hand grabs the foot, if it could grab the foot, or it stays at the knee, the hands go behind, you lean forward, or if it's better, just place it on the floor. There is no right way, there's just the right way for you. As you gently make your way up into a wide straddle. So we're already here. Let's put those feet far, far away. And again, if you're sitting on a blanket, towel, or pillow, this is a little easier. Just sometimes you slide off. If you're inclined to want to move your buns away, I've done that. Now I'm going to access my arms to lift my spine, really extend my legs out rather than feeling the heaviness of my body. See if you can create some lightness by lifting, and then as able, that hinging motion to release our adductors. Some of you may want to put the hands in front. It doesn't improve a whole lot if you reach out. If you had a block nearby, you could even put yourself down on the block. Slowly release yourself back up. Wait a moment at the top. Rather than pulling the legs together, I try and be respectful and slip the hands and give them a little support, and then help bring the legs in. So if you have a block or a towel, I'm going to say use it. It's going to give that support to the back that I so often reference. And this is reaching and sweeping. And we're going to repeat one side. So if you're like me and you have an obstacle or a wall behind you, you can have a chance to turn yourself around. So if I were to sit with my knees bent and put a block that's comfortable for my hip distance between my legs, just so that I knew I was adducting, and then sit myself up nice and tall. If this is hard, blanket. So you want to go where there's the most space. For me, that's facing you. I will lift nice and tall. I'm going to leave the arm that's not reaching forward. And as I watch the hand that's moving, it goes down the long end of my mat and it heads toward the center of the short end of my mat. And then I sweep back up and lift up nice and tall. I reach down, I sweep back, I draw up, and I'm squeezing the pillow or the block between my leg. The breath out is when you're going back. If that feels a bit much for you, you can hold on to your leg. You can't see it, but I'm holding my leg, and it gives a little support. So, can you see my arms holding on behind my leg? There you go. And it will give a little more support. That might be a better variation. Let's do one more. And for a little more challenge, how about we go over the head and over the head. So that makes it more challenging. So we're turning to the other side and repeating the same side. I think there was about 8 if I were to count. Not good at counting. All right, so someone might wonder, can I do this with my legs straight? Yeah, as long as you're squeezing your inner thighs toward one another. I'll try and demonstrate for you. So lifting nice and tall, reaching and sweeping down the back center edge of the mat and coming back up. Now you have to bend the knees if you want to hold on. So I'll do my last 2 with the arm going over the top and coming back on the top. It's more challenging, so you don't have to do it, but if you did. Once more. And then let's come to cobbler's pose. Bottom of the feet together, lift tall, hinge forward, and just relax. So a lot of work from the spine. We balance it with a little relaxing of the spine. Rolling myself up. So today we're going to do some walking bridge poses. No, a bridge doesn't walk. Well, we are going to walk in our bridge pose. So you want to be laying on your backs with your knees bent as if you were doing a regular bridge pose. And if you'd rather just do the bridge pose, doesn't this feel good to lay down? If you just want to do the bridge pose, even supported with a block under your sacrum, that would be fine. But here's where we're going to go. We're going to mindfully move ourselves into the bridge pose. And then without letting our torso shift from side to side, I'm going to just walk. But I'm going to walk slowly in slow motion. So my leg doesn't have to straighten, it just lifts up and comes down. Now for more challenge, because my arms are helping, I could hover the arms and then work from here. And I steady my torso so there's not like a shift from foot to foot and a balance change. So I'm really invested in staying nice and stable, either with the help of my hands or a little more challenge. If you don't want to do this, just do bridge pose, and that would be great. But if you want to give this one a try, do it with me. All right, so find your bridge. Use the hands or forgo the hands, and begin your walk. So maybe as you're walking, you're identifying where there might be the struggle or the challenge. Is it more on one side that there's a propensity to feel less control? Have you tried raising the hands? Are you breathing? Now let's all just stay in a traditional bridge pose. Those of you wishing to elevate the hips more and draw the shoulders in so you combine the hands, feel free. Careful the knees are not widening. For those who did tuck the shoulders, unsnug them, and we all come down as we usually do from the upper back, down the middle back, through the lower back. Do you want to bring your knees in? Okay. So you could do happy baby or just bring your knees in. So you're going to roll to your side and come up onto either your forearm or onto your hand. So we're going to do side arm balance, and we're going to split the legs today, giving you a better chance at it. Normally I ask for the inner edges of the feet to be sealed together, but if this is a day that we'll just give a little more grace to ourselves, that would be my bottom leg going out and then my top leg going behind, and if I were on my hands, and then elevating so that my shoulder is over my hand and my high arm is up. If I felt like that just wasn't where I should be right now, I would do variation, leg, leg, hips up, arms up. And again, we look to the high hand. So pick one that you want to do, this one or this one. And bring yourself down and go to the other side. Again, noticing similarities and differences. So if you're on the forearm, bottom leg is forward, top leg is back, elevate the hips, look to the high hand, lots of good work there, or plant your hand, elevate the hips, and come down. So not a long, but a little bit of stressing on our bones just with our body weight is good for us. Tis good for us. So back to all fours. If you need a little padding for the knees, for some cats and cows. Palms, knuckles, load equally on the forelimbs. And make these cats and cows really slow and mindful, tucking the belly in, dropping the tailbone and the head downward, broadening through the shoulder blades. Really expel all your breath. Then lifting the chest and the tailbone and taking a nice full inhale. Do that a few times on your own terms. And then end up in a neutral position. And then do a little hula, so a little circle of the pelvis. Feeling the freedom of your spine, it's nice and warm. And then going the other way. So I'm going to move my knees together. This may not be a thing for you with knee issues. Pick up one leg and cross it over the other leg, and then consider sitting back. If you look at that and say, nope, not my thing, you're going to come out of the all four position and go to the figure four position so you too can get your hips. I'd just like to give you some variations to play with. So if you're doing the cross the leg over, feet are apart, back your hips up. I'm not sitting on my feet. Slowly release either from the figure four or come back onto your knees. Uncross, knees back together. Lift the other knee and cross it over. Feet go outward. All right, everybody find your hip stretch. Again, I'm not sitting on my feet. Coming out of, if you're in the figure four, we're going to come down and join you. So I've uncrossed my legs and I'm going to my back. So I'm going to have my hands in a cactus on the mat, and I'm going to try and work to put my wrist on the mat or on the floor, depending on where you are. Your knees can be bent. I always think that's nicer for the back, but if you want the legs out, put the legs out. So here's my cactus arms, and if I just let them relax and looked at them, my wrists are not touching, so I'm going to push the back. My palms are facing up. The back of my wrist is pushing down. That's kind of weird, isn't it? Breathe and relax. So I'm going to remove my watch. I feel like it's an impedance to my feeling the back of the wrist. So there we go. Push the back of the wrist down. There's some muscles working here, aren't there? And relax. I'll scoot over a little, maybe you can see my hand better. There we go. And press the back of the wrist down. Keep breathing. And relax. So find the edges of your mat with your feet. Just kind of wiggle them out there so we can do some windshield wipers. And I would take your time, even though we're warmed up in the back and the hips, there still could be I better scoot over so I don't hit the fireplace. So I'm just going here. And then leave your legs on one side, whichever side that is, that's fine, just leave it there. Let both of the arms go in opposition to the other side. So your knees are bent. This should open into the iliopsoas of the top leg, your hip flexor. Carefully raise the arms and the legs. Wipe the other side. Let the arms go in opposition. So again, be aware of your asymmetry such that it looks pretty close, but maybe it just feels a little different. There's tightness in your thigh muscle or restriction in your back muscles. ahead and bring up your knees, come back center. You can rock the pelvis. I was hearing that plane going out of the blue of the western sky comes Sky King. Many of you know nothing of what I just said is a TV show from long, long ago, Sky King. Okay, so we get ourselves ready for Shavasana. And while I was laying there, I noticed that my orchid made another blossom. So I have 4, not 3. So get yourself comfy. Maybe that's going to be putting a heavy blanket. Sometimes it's not for warmth. It's just the weight of something on you. Maybe you want something under your knees. You want to lay on your side. It's an important part of our practice. So I hope that you can stay just to taste the Shavasana so that you can find that quiet place that resides inside of you. So get to that position, and inevitably while you're laying there, there's probably going to be some noise and it may jar you, but just let it just pass on by, just like a car driving down the street. Just let it not interfere with this quiet moment. Maybe tune into your breath. If not the breath, wander through your body. How's the body? Sensing relaxation, feeling heavy, without need, without demand. So once you get yourself to that quiet place, just be there. And I'll ring the singing bowl when it's time to come back. And there is the singing bowl to welcome you back from that lovely quiet moment which you most deserved after our practice. So here are some thoughts for us. It's an Eskimo proverb. Today is ashes, tomorrow wood. Only today does the fire burn brightly. We are here right now in the middle of today. We have many wonderful memories of the past, and we have hopes of what will happen in the future. But it's today we are living. And so our thought, I will not let today slip by without living it as fully as I can. So with that said, bring yourself up to a seated position and fully. Well, you could describe that in a multitude of ways. Living it fully could just be giving yourself some moment. Maybe it could be accomplishing a task. Maybe it could be just enjoying whatever it is that and whoever it is that is around you. So sitting up nice and tall, but yet mindful with our bandhas and our breath. And so that we can carry on this lovely day, extend the arms to the side, let them rise up, join the palms together. As always, the light in me honors the light in you. We say, Namaste. Okay, until we meet again, my friends, have a good rest of your day.